Hey folks, Deano here again. This time, this is part 2 of my review of the Demoniacal Fit Untamed Power Time Ranger Edition, otherwise known as Xeno Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And yeah, this is going to be my comparisons. I would do head swaps, but there's not really any point. There's like no difference between the actual heads. It's really just the faces. And to be honest, I feel as if the Demoniacal Fit faces are perfectly fine as they are. Like, I don't want to use the official, or even the Black Hole Toys ones, although those do look good, but they're more stylized. But yeah, mostly in this video, we will be comparing them, seeing who basically reigns supreme by the end of it. Pretty much the official GT Super Saiyan 4 Goku is only here for height comparisons. He is not going to be winning any awards, in my opinion. The Kong Studios won either, to be completely honest with you. He's just here because he's the same type of character. But yeah, first things first, let's get the camera set up and we'll look at all the different faces. So yeah, from top to bottom, we have the Black Hole Toys at the top, with I believe it was TK DIY, or TK Customs, that created the heads for Black Hole Toys, which is why they look so much different to the rest. They are nice heads. The one thing I never understood about Black Hole Toys was they made these heads and then only made them compatible with the alternate hairpieces that they gave with them. So yeah, in my opinion, that automatically rules these out. Even with how nice they actually are, like specifically the stern and yelling face, I think there's a lot more expression in them. But yeah, unfortunately, like the pegs are a different thickness to like the standard ones. They're thicker and they're wider. So yeah, that automatically rules those out. I don't understand why they couldn't have just made them the same. It wouldn't have messed with them any. Like, yeah, bit unfortunate. But yeah, second row is the official faces. These ones are nice. I do like them. They get the point across for what they are. I do not like the sort of orange, browny orange detailing that they've put on these. That's way too thick in my opinion. Always really put me off them. But yeah, they are decent enough. Then we come to the Demoniacal Fit versions, which for the most part are the exact same between the two releases. I was actually expecting some like bigger differences in what we got, to be honest. The only real difference is the smirking face. Like the GT one at the bottom looks down because it's specifically designed for the rock base for him to stand on it, whereas the Xeno version is smirking looking forward. So yeah, I was honestly expecting like the teeth gritted and like any of the faces really on the Xeno version to be looking off to the sides. Like, I don't really understand why they didn't do that. They could have quite easily capitalized on that and given us some extra expressions to use. You basically would have forced people to buy both figures. I bought them anyway, that's just me. I love the Xeno version and I needed an upgrade to the GT version, so it worked out perfectly fine for me. But yeah, unless you're really needing that forward-facing smirk, and you need the Xenoverse or the Xeno version, yeah, the Xeno Super Saiyan 4 is kind of surplus. You don't need it. Not to me. I love the character, but yeah, I'll be honest. Like, it's honestly, it's not bias, but I think the Demoniacal Fit heads look the best here. They look the most like Goku. They're obviously based off the official mould, but they're kind of more rounded than the official one is, which kind of looks more like Goku, in my opinion. So, yeah. Other than that, like, they're all good heads in their own right. I don't have the Kong Studios ones out here to compare. That's one because there's loads of them, and they're all like varying degrees of looking off to the side, smirking, blah 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 blah. But also, they almost look identical to the official, so I didn't see much need to compare them. So yeah, let me know what you guys' favourites are. Mine's is definitely the Xeno one because we've got the forward-facing smirk. So yeah, let's start taking a look at the figures now. So first off, I thought I'd get this out the way real quick. This is the official GT Super Saiyan 4 right here. Just to show that there is indeed quite a, well, noticeable, not sizable, but noticeable difference in heights between these two. So this guy is indeed carrying over the height from the GT release, which is good. Bit of accuracy goes a long way. And you can also see if this guy actually stands up. It's getting to the point now where both of his feet are quite loose, the joints. So he's a pretty much a fragile boy these days. This is the first release of the official mould, by the way. I know they did fix the issues, as far as I know anyway, for the reissue, but really we shouldn't be waiting for reissues to get fixes. Yeah, you'll notice the fur colour is indeed different. Like I said in this guy's own review video, the Xeno Goku has a redder fur. He's always drawn that way than the GT version, which has a pinker fur. I'll be honest, I like both, like in terms of colour, but that's just me. It depends on which version I am looking at. But yeah, let's get in the next comparison. So yep, this one is the Kong Studios / Beast Deities version. And yeah, despite them being based off the same character, there's quite a lot of differences here. For one, this is before, like, the Kong Studios version is from before the official Super Saiyan 4 mold released. So this is Kong's own design right here. And for the time, I did actually prefer it, to be completely honest with you. I preferred the slightly slimmer arms. Only thing I didn't really like was the squared off abs. I don't know what they were doing with that. But they did fix it for, was it their Super Saiyan 5 Gokus? Is it Super Saiyan 5 that they did? I can't really remember. But they did update the lower abs for subsequent figures anyway. But yeah, to be completely honest with you, I would say the Demoniacal Fit one still blows this guy out the water now. The only thing I kind of prefer is the lower skirt piece for Kong Studios. Theirs flows out a lot better. But yeah, the articulation on this guy is subpar at best. Like, the elbows barely make 90, and the legs are still 2.0s under there. So not only do they look quite scrawny, they also don't get very good range, even for a 2.0 release. But yeah, just obviously ignore the extra sheen and stuff that this guy has. It's because this was their, like, so-called limit breaker version, which was like barely just a spray coat of pearlescent coating. But yeah, the standard black hair version of this guy is identical, apart from that. But yeah, let's move on to the next comparison. So yeah, this is him up against the GT Super Saiyan 4, the Demoniacal Fit version. And yeah, as you can see, height is identical. They did indeed copy over the added height. Not entirely sure where they've put the added height. As someone pointed out in this guy's review, like all they really did to up the height of this guy was extend his lower legs. I believe they pretty much did the same here. It's just much more hidden because it's a new sculpt. You don't really notice it much. The socks on the Xeno version are bigger and taller. So yeah, you really don't see it as much. But apart from that, they are like the exact same height, honestly. Again, fur colour is different. It should be. That's how it should be. But yeah, thankfully they both come with folded arms or crossed arms, so you don't have to worry about the colours mismatching between them. But yeah, let's get on to the comparison everyone's actually been waiting for. And yeah, this is him up against basically his rival company at this point. This is the Black Hole Toys Limit Breaker Xeno Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Yeah, not entirely sure why Black Hole Toys went with the Limit Breaker version. Was it so they didn't have to actually compete with Demoniacal Fit when theirs released? I'm not sure. It came out a few months before it, so they really could have like capitalized on that delay. But yeah, even at a glance, you can tell pretty much this is the exact same figure. I've been saying it for a long time. People did inform me back in the day, but Black Hole Toys used to be part of Demoniacal Fit. Like it was the same people that worked on it. But I'm assuming creative differences, etc., caused members of the team to break off and form Black Hole Toys. And because of that, they managed to, I'm assuming, take some of the renders and molds with them. Which is why we get things like this, where there are too many similarities to really say it's a coincidence, honestly. Like, these things, for whatever reason, were rushed out the door. I am not sure why, considering it took Demoniacal Fit months to release their version. But yeah, for how rushed they were, they really suffered. Like, for example, the shoulders, or the butterfly joint on this guy, completely missing the skin tone, which it should have. Yeah, also really, really hard plastic on the skirt piece, which is horrendous. That pretty much destroys any chance of it being mobile. Yeah, also not entirely sure why they went with this horrible sort of metallic pink purple paint app. But I know why. It's based off like a statue of Xeno Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but it just doesn't translate well at all to like a figure. I would have much preferred they just done a standard one. Like, they would have really, really competed with Demoniacal Fit at that point. But they didn't. They chose their direction. But yeah, looking at the sculpts, you can tell, like, right away, the rips are in the same place. They are the same shape. And yeah, the one thing the Demoniacal Fit one is missing is a bit of paint on that scratch, whereas on the Black Hole Toys one, there is some fur underneath. But yeah, the one thing Black Hole Toys does really well is shading. Like, the ab section there has some really nice shading on it, whereas Demoniacal Fits is just matte. There's shading on the skirt piece, even though the skirt piece is horrendous on theirs. And there's also some nice sort of black wash on the socks, which again the Demoniacal Fit one doesn't have. But yeah, Black Hole Toys had a really big chance to like slam dunk that release, and they messed up big time. Like, I think it's pure greed, honestly. Black Hole Toys released this guy and a standard GT Super Saiyan 4 Goku that just happened to have fur colour close to this, so they were really expecting you to just swap the torsos around, which, for the fact that Black Hole Toys charges a bit more than Demoniacal Fit, I think is horrendous. Like, there was no need for that whatsoever. Just release the figure, people would have bought it. But yeah, even the rips on the skirt piece are identical. Like, honestly, there is no denying this is the same mould. Even down to the height, actually, just that I noticed that. The heights of these two guys are identical. So, yeah, which is strange considering the fact that Black Hole Toys GT Super Saiyan 4 was shorter. So, for some reason, they've kind of made their own design for the GT one, or copied the official more closely. Whereas the Xeno one, they've copied Demoniacal Fit's design, which is a bit strange. But yeah, guys, honestly, if you were to choose one, I would 1,000,000% go for the Demoniacal Fit one. It's cheaper, it looks nicer, it's not a weird colour scheme, and it functions better. Like, what more can you want? Honestly. Oh, and for anyone wondering, the only reason the fancy head is on the standard hair for this guy is because I shaved down the pegs. Yeah, I had to literally destroy the face pegs in order to get them to fit, which was another massive oversight from Black Hole Toys. I have no idea why they did that, honestly. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Which do you prefer of the 3 Xeno Super Saiyan 4 Gokus? If you tell me it's the Kong Studios one, I will probably like lose a brain cell, but that's just me. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. As I said before, link in the description to buy the Demoniacal Fit one. I'll probably find the Black Hole Toys one as well and put it down there if anyone for whatever reason wants to purchase it. I won't be able to find a Kong Studios one. That one's long sold out. But yeah, I'll also put a link in the description to the Demoniacal Fit GT Super Saiyan 4 if you want to buy that as well. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed. And until next time, I'll see y'all later.